Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. In this video, I want to talk about Monday Night Football, October 5th, 2015. The Detroit Lions were visiting the Seattle Seahawks, and the game ended in controversy, reminding football fans of the Monday Night Football game from 3 years ago, September 24th, 2012, when the game ended in a controversial call. It was Packers visiting the Seahawks, a different NFC North opponent. But anyhow, look at this. As soon as the game ended, ESPN had up this video highlight reel running 2 minutes, 3 seconds in length. This stood out to me right away because the game ended with a sum of 23 points, 13 to 10. 10 plus 13 equals 23. And yesterday's date, October 5th, 2015, was a date with life lesson number numerology of 23. Of course, 23 a very special number in numerology and in sports. Think about all the sports stars and all the sports that have worn the number 23 in history. But right here, ESPN's write-up, it says this: Seahawks stop Lions with goal line turnover. Cam Chancellor forced a late Calvin Johnson fumble at the 1 yard line to preserve Seattle's win. However, officials missed an illegally batted ball on the play that should have given the ball back to Detroit. See, that's the bullshit right there. The refs didn't miss the call. The refs are out there helping participate in the rigging. The refs likely know what the final score is supposed to be, and they make calls accordingly. This is why flags are thrown so often to bring points back. It's just such a joke, and once you're aware of how rigged this is, you can't miss it. There's no way the ref missed that he illegally batted the ball out of bounds. I saw it as a fan. The announcers in the game saw it. How could the referee, who's paid to do this and know the rules so well, not see it, especially when there's all this instant replay? The fact that the media covers it up just shows that their role is also complicit in it, just like how they know to put the numerology up that's specific to the game. Also, I want to point out that Russell Wilson had 26 passing attempts. Last week, Seattle won 26 to nothing against the Bears, a different NFC North team. 26 is the God number in Gematria. The word God equals 26, the English alphabet's 26 letters. In Seattle, a special place with a lot of special numerology, has an area code of 206. In numerology, 0 doesn't count, so 206, a lot like 26. Show you how that number factored into the Hail Mary play of a few years ago. Also, I have a theory on 23. I think it's another way for these numerologists to code 33 as in 2 threes. The Lions and the Seahawks are two of only 3 teams in the NFL that have 33 gematria. The other one is the Bengals. No other team has 33 gematria. Cleveland, the city, is the only city with 33 gematria. Some cities are on the 33rd parallel, such as Atlanta and Phoenix. But in terms of names, it's just Lions, Bengals, Seahawks. Also, Monday Night Football, the acronym is 33. 33 is a very important number in the NFL because it's run by the Freemasons and Zionists who worship this number. Just 2 weeks ago on Monday Night Football, they had the Freemasons out there doing the opening ceremonies. Should also be noted this game took place in October, the only month with 33 gematria. No other month has it. In terms of Zionist taunting, this article from ESPN also gives it away. How the Stars and Stripes saved Seattle. 3 years after the Hail Mary, a ref mistake on Monday Night Football overshadowed a game with big implications and storylines. Bill Barnwell explores Seattle's latest escape. Now check this out, Truth Seeker. In this story that ESPN has about last night's game, they have number 50 on here and ref number 119. What's interesting about these numbers is if you add them together, they sum to 169, and the square root of 169 is 13, which is how many points the Seahawks won with. Also, I just did a video yesterday on how 13 was the most important number in the Week 4 games. I even talked about how Andrew Luck sat out as a numerological tribute. Yesterday, most of the headlines about the Colts were no luck, and think about the number 13 and luck in our culture. Also, yesterday's date numerology had 50 numerology as well. It had a 23 life lesson number and then a straight up numerology of 50. Here we have Seahawk number 50 on the screen. We also have ref number 119, which is an interesting number to the Zionists. The Zionist state is Israel. Star of David equals 119, and it is these people who run the NFL, there is no doubt. Zionism and Masonry both equal 105. This game took place on October 5th, 10/5, a lot like 105. And if you think that's a joke, look at this other story from ESPN right here. How should Lions react to Blandino's statement? This is the statement about, missing the call. Look at the video length, 105. Zionism, Masonry, 105. Then check out this story also up right now. You can go to ESPN. All these stories are up. Jeff Daniels on being a Lions fan. You feel cursed. And it's a minute 39 in length. The word Freemasonry equals 139. These are all of their numbers, Truth Seeker. I talk about how they code this stuff all the time. And notice the words emphasized. You feel cursed. Summing to 69, just like lions in simple English gematria. This stuff is not a coincidence. This is how the media rolls, and Lions fans should feel cursed. It's a purposeful curse waged by this sick gang of Zionists. Remember last year, Lions-Cowboys in the playoffs? I have a video on this. The Lions were beating the Cowboys good. Then it came back from a commercial break, and they changed the sun setting over Dallas into the symbol, the Star of David. I have this captured in a video. It's on Fox. From that moment on, the Cowboys destroyed the Lions. I think this was also a sign, a tribute to the rigging. Remember, in the end of that game, there was a pass interference call against the Lions, or not against the Lions, against the Cowboys that should have stood, but the ref picked up the flag and said it was a no call, which was complete bullshit. The reason they did this is because the Lions would have been in field goal range and had the possibility of winning the game. It was obviously scripted for the Cowboys. So with regards to the Seahawks rigged season, remember in week 1 the game went to overtime 31-31 when Cam Chancellor's replacement fell down, giving up a touchdown in the closing seconds to send it to overtime 31-31. Cam Chancellor wears 31. In week 2, I predicted that the final score of the game would sum to 44 and the Packers would win. That's exactly what happened. How did I do it? It's because it was the Sunday night game, and that date had 44 numerology, week 2. In all the games that day played before the Seahawks-Packers game, only one score had a sum of 44. It was the Falcons over the Giants. There are only 2 states in the Union that have gematria of 44. They are Georgia and Wisconsin, and by the end of the day, they were the only 2 states who had won with 44 scores on the date with 44 numerology. In history, Brett Favre was the 33rd overall pick by the Falcons, who are on the 33rd parallel, and he was traded to the Packers, who have the giant G on the side of their helmet, like the Freemason G in the compass and square. Francis Bacon had a form of gematria where A through Z, lowercase, was 1 through 26, and capital A through capital Z was 27 through 52. In that system, capital G is 33. Freemason League. The NFL is the WWF. In week 3, the Seahawks came home for their first home game and got their first win, 26-0. Again, the area code of Seattle is 206. Drop the 0 as you would in numerology. You're there at 26. Seattle's on the 47th parallel, a special number in the NFL. The first Super Bowl was in the 47th season. Also a very special number to the Zionists. It was a Zionist who funded the American Revolutionary War. He was born on April 7th, 47. I have a video on that. On 9/11, the third building to fall was named after him, the Solomon Brothers building. It was 47 floors, each floor 47,000 square feet. You learn this numerology, you learn the nation's history, you see who's running the show, and then you come to quickly understand that that's why these sports games are scripted as they are. That's exactly how my research has gone. This is exactly what I'm presenting to people. And then in week 4, we get the 4th scripted game by the numbers, finishing with 23, life lesson 23 for the day. Also, 13 was the big number for the week in the NFL, so it's no wonder they won with 13. As for the Fail Mary game, that took place on September 24th, 2012, which is September 11th on the Julian calendar. I'm telling you guys, the Green Bay Packers and the Seattle Seahawks have the same ownership. They're like two branches of the same team. Anyway, look at the outcome of the game. Seahawks won it with a sum of 26 points. What else? All scripted, all by the numbers. Right now on ESPN, this article's up saying who is the future Super Bowl contenders. I want to point out that number 144, a very special number. Let me show you why. Last year's Super Bowl was played between the Seahawks and Patriots, who both came into the game 14 wins, 4 losses, including their playoff wins. It was in Glendale, Arizona, which has gematria of 144. It was the first Super Bowl to have a Scientology commercial, which has gematria of 144. And what's special about this number 144 is that the phrase mark of the beast equals 144. If you sum the first 144 digits of pi, it totals 666, which is the number for the mark of the beast. Notice the Pythagorean gematria of football breaks down to 666, 2, kind of like 22. It's a game of 11 versus 11. And the numerology of football sums to 29, which has a numerology of 11. It's a game of 11 on 11. It's just all put before our eyes, and if you learn this language, you can see what's going on. Right now, my pick for Super Bowl is Packers versus either the Colts or the Patriots. We'll see. If it's Packers versus Colts or Patriots, it will be a number 12 versus a number 12, because Andrew Luck, who's not up here, also wears 12. This is Tom Brady. I'd bet you $1 million, though, it's not Peyton Manning. He's done. He is done. And you know who else is done? All my critics. Everybody who comes here and says that I am mistaken, I am crazy, they all have something in common. They're all fucking retarded, and they're all suckers of Zionist cock. And look at this number right here. Not only is it 119, but BJ is up here. And I'm telling you, everybody who participates in these games, who watches these games, who spends money on the NFL, what they all have in common is they're all cocksuckers of the Zionists, because that's all they're ultimately doing. They're wasting their own time, they're wasting their own money, they're wasting their life, and they're giving it to this gang of assholes. Also, I should do another post on the pink ribbons. Please see my video on Susan G. Komen and what a hoax that is. The NFL, all the ways it hoaxes people. It's pathetic. In case you didn't know, the word kill equals 44, the word cancer equals 44, the word chemo equals 44. Susan G. Komen's birth name in gematria equals 44. She supposedly got cancer at age 33. She died at age 36. If you sum 1 through 36, it totals 666. All right, Truth Seeker, until next time.